Hello, and welcome to ShePack Unleashed. I'm one of your hosts, Tania.
I'm Nichole. Welcome to your weekly dose of candid discussion and the pursuit of finding your tribe in this journey of motherhood, womanhood, and sisterhood.
I'm Ashley. Join us as we leave no stone unturned. In each episode, we have heart-to-heart conversations that aim to challenge and empower one another.
I'm Jenny. No more waiting. ShePack Unleashed begins now.
On this week's episode, exploring kids' mental health, navigating medication choices, and other interventions. All right, so we do want to start this episode with a disclaimer that we are not medical professionals. We are not doctors. This is all based on our own personal experiences with our own children. And if you have any sort of concerns with your own children, we very much encourage you to talk to your providers, talk to any medical professional that is involved in your child's life so that you can choose the path that is right for your child and your family. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So obviously we have a new friend on the couch.
Welcome.
So excited. Welcome to the pack. This is my dear friend, Lena. Lena and I have known each other since we were in middle school, became best friends in high school, freshman year of high school, and never looked back.
How many years ago was that?
Nope, we're not going to talk about that.
Just wondering.
Just 10 years.
No, my oldest friendship.
Awesome.
I will say that.
Oh, that's sweet.
Absolutely. So honored that you are willing to join us tonight, and so glad. I'll let you kind of tell everybody about your family and your kiddos. I don't know if we want to share other information about our fun overlaps, right? Like in terms of, I guess, yeah, I can share. So we paired you and your husband to walk down the aisle together at my wedding.
Yeah.
And then the rest was history from that night on.
So you match made.
I did. And
Did you know when you did it?
oh, yeah, I did it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
This is
You
your
had a
next
plan.
business.
I had a plan and it worked. And her now husband was best friends with my husband as well. So the whole idea was to get him to move here from St. Louis if he fell in love and they got married and everything would be happily ever after. And it backfired because they got together and then she moved to St. Louis.
Womp womp.
How dare she? So we lost you for 7 or 8 years. And then the whole crew finally made their way back to North Carolina and
Good.
it's all beautiful.
It is. And our kids are friends.
Our kids are friends. We get to hang out. We do lots of birthday parties together and parties in the summer, parties in the winter, all kinds of get-togethers that
That's
are
so
really
fun.
fun.
Kids like be friends.
It really is.
Like your friend.
Yep. So you had your oldest, and then my son was born like almost exactly a year later.
Yes.
And then 2 years after your youngest came. So he's sandwiched in the middle of your kiddos, but it was always so beautiful because they play so well together.
My youngest definitely thinks he's a lot older than he
Oh, for sure. He is a big personality.
He is.
And we love them for that. We have a whole crew of big personalities in our children.
Is it second child? Because it's like second child energy.
100%.
Second
Oh, yeah.
child energy.
100%.
They gotta keep up.
Oh my
They do.
God.
They
It's
do.
strong.
Oh, see, I can't speak to that. So I will defer to the experts.
Second child energy is like no other energy.
So Lena, I guess tell our listeners just a little bit more, about your kiddos, maybe like the kind of school that they go to. We've talked about the schools that our children go to. I feel like that plays a part, of course, in their growing up and development and kinds of things. So yeah, what do you want to share?
Well, I'm Lena. I'm so happy to be here joining the ShePack. I've enjoyed listening and learning about your new friends and family that you've made, because I know we've had our history, but it's wonderful seeing that you found your group here. I have my ladies and my mom's in Wake Forest, and that's where my husband and my 2 children live. I have a 7 and a 10-year-old, both very active.
Both boys.
Both boys. Polar opposites, complete polar opposites, but they get around fairly well. We have our ups and downs, just like anybody's kids, but
I feel like the polar opposite situation rings true
Across the board.
across the board for you 3
Yeah.
as
Both
well.
of my kids are polar opposite.
Mm-hmm.
it's fun, but you have to parent them differently.
And you have to like
or at least in our house, we do.
And you have to relearn how to parent. Because like I learned how to parent with my first one, and then my second one doesn't work. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing works with him the same way. So I'm like, oh, I got to do with this. I already did this.
It is true. We have to be flexible and roll with it sometimes and change if you're like, wait, this is not or they're not responding how we'd like them to. Different tactic. Okay. No, we go to a public school that is 5 minutes from our house, which we are so blessed that it's our home-based school. It's traditional. The teachers, the staff are just phenomenal. Can I give a shout out to the school?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So if you're in the Wake Forest area, Richland Creek Elementary School is phenomenal.
Whoop, whoop.
Loved it.
The principals are lovely, vice and the main principal. Just the support staff cares about the kids. They know the kids' names.
Yeah.
Like 500 plus kids
The
in the
support
school.
staff?
The support staff
That's
knows
amazing.
the kids' names.
Wow.
I feel it is a superpower that those people have. I don't understand how they do it. And it's incredible. The difference that it makes to the kiddos, because I see the same thing happen at Ryan's school. And I'm like, how? I don't get it. But like the kids light up when they recognize them and they shout them out, right? And it's really cool.
I can barely remember any of their kids, the extra kids' names.
The extra kids.
The extra kids, the not my kids at the school.
I
Who are
learned their
you?
names via birthday invites.
But
Oh,
then
yeah.
I don't actually know which one is the like. I don't know. There's so
Me either,
many.
because Bob takes them to birthday parties.
we had this conversation. I like birthday parties. I go to
That's
them.
right, you do, yeah.
But like I am socializing, not like paying attention to the tiny ones.
You're paying attention to the adult ones.
Yeah.
Your potential friends.
Yeah, my
Exactly.
potential friends. And then I'll learn your kid's name. But until then, I'm good.
I mean, we were blessed with talking about adult friends. My children started Montessori Children's House in Wake Forest.
Oh, okay.
When we moved back to this area, my oldest went there from 3 to almost to 6 because we hold him back a year, which I do not regret that decision at all.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, this group of kids just clicked. The parents clicked, and they are still our group. I mean, moms, dads, kids alike. We still get together at holidays. We still do birthday parties together, and the adults have just as much fun as the kids. And
That's so
talking about a
nice.
tribe and raising, it takes a village. We have our village, which
That's so nice.
That's amazing.
I'm one of the few who has my parents here and my in-laws, which I'm
Both?
both.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm completely indebted to both of our parents because they help raise our children as well. I could not work my job. I work as creative director at an event venue in Wake Forest called the Sutherland, wedding coordinator.
Shout out for the Sutherland.
Sutherland.
It is a beautiful space.
I mean, I'm biased.
I mean, they're going to
No,
host.
I am
a
not
pack
biased, and
event.
I will say it.
I've literally been there once, and I still think about it. Like, it was horrible.
I didn't get to go.
We'll go look at their calendar. We'll find some.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we will go, and maybe we'll host a like she get together there one day.
I mean, we can talk about something at the art show if you guys want to do something live at the
I
art
love
show
it.
in August.
I love it.
But no, it's a beautiful venue, but I could not work my job if I did not have the help of our parents. So they are very essential in our kids' lives as well. But digressing, I'm one of the few of our group that has help with family.
Mhm.
Most of them are transplants and don't have the help of their parents. And so they all lean on each other, and I help out with from time to time and vice versa. If my parents or my in-laws can't, they will take my boys. And I know they love my children and I love their children. And it's just, they don't have any cousins. They're it for both of our families. And so they have cousins in the friends.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, a lot of our kids are the same way.
Yep.
and I'm so grateful for friends and family alike. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about like the kids and the mental health, would you share a little bit about how you've gotten the journey of dealing with your children and maybe their mental health?
Well, and we will say too, you talked to your kids before deciding to come on.
yes.
And they gave their blessing for you to discuss some of the, things that you guys have been navigated and are currently navigating. I think that, it's definitely important in this day and age that, our kids are of an age, right? 10 and 7, that they have some autonomy there and some ownership of it too, which I think is really important.
Yeah, I talked to them. It's something I wanted to share our experience because it's been a trying couple years. And I wanted to share both to help other parents in their journey. I see some of our friends and their struggle with their kids, and I've been very open about our journey, and I've tried to figure out how to share it. And this it was a perfect opportunity. So
Yeah.
thank you, ladies, for letting me have this platform, because it's also therapeutic for myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just girls' night.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Talk it out.
And it's been terrible for my children and what they've gone through, and we're getting past things. I have not healed from it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more I talk about it, the better it helps. But it's something, my journey will be a separate one, which I am working on. But yeah, so my kids' journey, both boys, like Tania said, I did get their permission to talk about that. I'm just not using their names. So you'll hear me say oldest and youngest. It started with my oldest when he was about 5. I started noticing anxiety. Anxiety and depression run rampant in both of my husband and my families. It's something we're very well aware of, pay attention to, because I didn't want them to struggle longer than they needed to. One of my husband's regret is not having started medication sooner. Had he been diagnosed with anxiety as a child,
For himself personally?
He would not have, he would have enjoyed his childhood a lot more and have better memories, especially in school and stuff like that.
Right.
And so he always I wish I had been diagnosed sooner. So with that being said, we were very open about anything that we were seeing, paying attention to. Sadly, kids cannot be tested for anxiety till they're 7, which we learned. So we waited and struggled and kind of came to a head when we were on summer vacation. The anxiety just consumed him. He was fearful to go to the beach because he thought he was getting himself worked up, so he thought he might throw up at the beach. And I was like, okay, so you throw up at the beach, but that's the worst that can happen? Okay. But it took about an hour between my husband and myself talking to him to get him down to the beach. And it was something he couldn't control. And this was just one of the many.
He'd just spiral up, right?
And I would ask him, I was like, can you control how you're feeling? He's like, no, I cannot stop how I'm feeling. I cannot, whether it was crying or just panicking. And I was like, we have to fix this. I mean, there is something not connecting that we need to find. And so he was finally 7. And we could take him, and he tested for anxiety with panic attacks and separation anxiety were the 2 that he tested positive for.
Okay.
What was that testing like? Was it like a questionnaire that you filled out, or did he have to answer things?
So he filled it out. Both my husband and I filled out one separately.
Okay.
So it was our 3 opinions.
I like that.
Yeah.
And so
Was this through your pediatrician?
It was.
Okay.
So my pediatrician is phenomenal. Raleigh Pediatric Associates, Dr. Alan Hewitt. He told me I could definitely say his name because he is all for me doing this podcast.
Yeah.
He is. Then we're getting on
Development.
felt like this before, and he said yes 3 times. And she asked him if he had a plan, and he does. I did not know he had a plan. And he said he would go to the kitchen and get a knife.
Oh, honey.
And for our listeners, there's like 3 criteria to assess the actual risk for that stuff, is what I've been taught.
Okay.
Do you have a plan, the means to the plan, and a timeline for the plan?
So no, we do not have a plan, except we have locked all the knives and tools in our house.
No,
so
so for suicide
plan.
risk.
Yeah, assessing the risk. So that's why that plan piece, to my understanding, is like such a concern. It's because the thought's been there.
Right.
And it can turn into the means for it. So now you've removed the means, which completely like interrupts that whole process there too.
So the counselor had called me and told me everything that had happened, and I was like, oh, okay. Broke down a little bit after that.
So this all was happening at school before you were made aware
Yes.
of any of it. Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the school and picked him up and brought him home, and we had a conversation about everything. But on the way to go get him, I called pediatrician, got that appointment set up, and started looking for counselors. And it's like, okay, so this is deeper than I was thinking. And since, so I had a phone call with the pediatrician last week and told him everything that was going on. And we've switched his medication. So he is now on sertraline as well, because he was having breakthrough anxiety. He said, I mean, counseling is fine, great, but we need to get serotonin levels there first. And the only way that can be done is with medication, because it is a chemical imbalance with my child.
Right. Clinical depression is a chemical imbalance. And while he hasn't been formally diagnosed, it's similar to what my child has experienced and was officially diagnosed with clinical depression. And it's a chemical imbalance. And there's like not much you can do about that.
There's nothing other than to medicate for.
Right.
That is
other
the
than
tool.
Right. And with
And you didn't cause it, like
ideations, right?
That.
Like it's not anything that you did. It's not anything about his life. It is literally just a chemical imbalance.
Right. I mean, and that's all the women on my mother's side of the family have that. And so, but we had our first counseling session last night, and it was more just an introduction and getting our history, but we'll be starting counseling as well. And he's for it. And
Excellent.
So we're going to see how the sertraline does in the next few weeks. And if we need to bump up the levels, we will. But I mean, it's an ever evolving journey. Just because you think you found something, you can't, I guess, be complacent.
Yeah.
And being able to pivot and to figure out, okay, well, this worked for a little bit, but may not now. And so as he grows, it's going to have to change too, as he gets older.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be scared of it and scared talking to their doctor about medication being a possibility.
Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, like, do you suffer from anxiety, depression, any of those things personally?
I had not.
Okay.
Growing up, my mom was watching me like a hawk because it does, afflict all the women on her side of the family.
Okay.
Talking about suicides. There's suicides in our history several generations ago, but it is there. I feel more anxiety now as an adult. I've had more issues, and I was put on Wellbutrin for a while. I had every side effect in the book, so we did not do that.
Yeah.
And I didn't try anything else. Things leveled out, but
was that more after having children, or did you notice that before kids?
2 years ago. So after kids, with my job, especially in springtime
and navigating all of these mental health journeys of your children at the same time. So
situational depression, situational anxiety is a thing.
Yeah. But it sounds like it was a topic that was well discussed in your childhood. So like mental health has always been something that has never been taboo, not for you as a child, not for you as an adult, not for your children, right?
Right. It's been it's not been taboo in our house at all.
Yeah.
So,
well, I would say my family suffers from mental illness. It was never spoken about. Like it was
hard.
Likewise.
Like my grandfather committed suicide, my uncle committed suicide, and those were all told to us in ways of like, oh, well, the gun just went off. Like it was more about gun safety.
I mean, that's a lesson that's mixed in there, sure.
But like I was a pretty old teenager.
So you were old enough that you could have understood it?
No, I was probably 5 when my uncle killed himself. But I was in college when my grandfather killed himself. And I knew that. But like I wasn't even told, like the truth about my uncle's suicide wasn't really spoken to me until I was like 17 or 18. And it was like a realization of somebody told me that. And I was like, wait, what? No, the gun just went off. That's how he died. Like, no, that's not exactly what happened. And my husband's family doesn't have any they don't talk about anything personal. Like,
so it doesn't mean the issue doesn't exist.
Correct.
You just have the unfortunate disservice of not knowing.
Correct. And so for us, it has been a much harder journey.
I'm sorry.
For our children, because I don't suffer from like intrusive thoughts. So like, and luckily my friends have helped me.
We're teaching you the
They're
ways.
teaching me all the ways of intrusive thoughts. Watch us go over a bridge together. I'm like,
it's a
what
form
is
of
happening?
creativity in my book.
I think it has absolutely heightened your awareness.
It has. It absolutely has heightened my awareness that this is something people do suffer with. And I have seen a therapist and done those things, but like in my brain, I was always like, you just pick yourself from the bootstraps. Like you're just having a bad day. Like get through it, get over it, move on. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's been harder to be like, oh, this is
not a pick yourself up by the bootstraps kind of situation.
Right. This is not a like mind over matter. You're going to be fine. Like,
I love that you're going through that journey yourself, though, personally. It's really nice to see somebody believe others.
Yeah.
When so much time is spent, like personally for my kids, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this too, like, something's up. So to hear that this is real for other people, even if you don't personally experience it, like that means a lot. Like to me personally, it means a lot to know that it's validated like that.
Yeah. Like I know it is a thing and people do suffer, and I try to.
Some people think it's not real.
A lot of people think
like,
it's not
what?
real.
Yeah. But like, I think when you see it firsthand, right? Where you see like you're somebody you care about a lot, really not be able to pull themselves out of that anxiety and not be able to control their feelings and like my oldest also told me he didn't want to be alive, right? So like being able to like say like, yo, you're 7. And like having these like, I'm really afraid of how you're going to be at 16 when like the hormones are real raging. Like, and like I remember being 17 and the world was ending.
Yeah.
And didn't have those like extra things.
Well, and I think too, right? I love the fact that you have such an incredible support system around you.
Yeah.
I am so thankful that your pediatrician has been as incredible as they have been. And you have put in all the way. You are their advocate. You are their number one advocate.
You have to be.
But you're doing it. Like there's an understanding, like I'm their parent, I have to be, and then there's actually doing it.
But you don't actually have to, right?
You don't
like,
have to. There's lots of
right?
families, and I still feel like there are so many times where I could have and should have done more to try and figure out what was going on with my son.
You from doing that? Sorry, just
no. We did do counseling
right
with him, but he was so young that it was really hard. Like it wasn't a conversation to sit down and be like, how are you feeling today? Right? Like it was, let's play this game on the floor and not even talk about any seemingly relevant issues. Right. And I'm sure it would have gotten there. Right. I think we did a couple months of counseling with him. And eventually, like we found enough ways to navigate at home that it became manageable. And he grew up a little bit more and it became manageable.
Gotcha.
But I can't help but wonder if I had thought to ask about a medication to supplement that, right? To help even out the chemical levels that were happening in his brain and in his body.
Such that
my pediatrician never suggested it. It was never broached as a topic. And it's so embarrassing. I have a master's degree in social work in counseling, right? Never occurred to me to pursue medication for him. And like hindsight, I look back on it, I'm like, he was feral when he would have these tantrums, these, outbursts, to the point that we would have to put him in his room to keep him safe and to keep us safe from him. And I just still remember sitting against that door sobbing, right? While listening to him lose his mind because I couldn't hold him. I couldn't be in there safely with him. And it was just the worst experience of being a parent, right? And I wish that I had thought to do more. It just didn't even occur to me. And so all of that to say, I have so much respect for all of you guys are the biggest fighters for your kids. And I think it is incredible and it's beautiful and it is so goddamn hard. So hard. And you're doing the damn thing and your children are going to be better for it.
Hope so.
Well, and I will say, like, if it's not impacting your everyday life, it's hard to stop life to figure things out like that, right? Like, there is also that, like, a little bit of privilege and a little bit of means that came into this too. Like I want to make
sometimes wanting to pretend that it's not happening.
Right.
Yeah. If you're Delulu, you can get by with a lot of things. Honestly, just like,
but even if you're not Delulu, like, right. I think about the fact that we had to spend $4,000 to do testing to get these diagnoses. We never even thought clinical depression was even on the table. You were going for an autistic diagnosis.
And cost is one thing. Then it's the time that you have to take off of work.
Right.
So much time.
To the other side of the damn city, just seeing someone. Like I was telling you, like our psychiatrist for Derek is half an hour away from us. But it was so hard to find somebody. But whatever, I'm there once a month and checking in, and like we went this morning and it was all good. But if I couldn't take time off of work,
right, and all that to be said, right, that like if you don't have the means, if you don't have the ability to take off work,
it can feel so isolating.
It is
struggling
hard.
Alone.
Yeah, it is hard, and even with the means, even with the privilege, like it is still hard for us to we haven't found a therapist because I can't pick somebody who's 45 minutes away because I don't have the ability to stop life for that time, right? Like there's my other kid to consider. There's other things in our family to consider, the holistic picture. So like fitting all of that in also while trying to fight for your kid, like know that it's not a one size fits all. It's not a like
Never.
you're doing this or that. It sometimes it's going to be this and sometimes it's going to be that, and it doesn't always mean that you're failing
No.
because you're not pushing it all through right at that moment. And if you need support, I'm going to try to find some additional resources to like link into here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got some for us?
So Psychology Today.com
Psychology Today.
is
That's where I found my therapist.
Mhm.
Yes. So the school counselor told me to go there because none of the counselors I had reached out to a year ago had reached back out or gotten back to me. And she said to go to Psychology Today. And I went there and I think and you can put in what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Your zip code. You can say play therapy. You can say the age. So it can really narrow your search versus just going to Google and typing in something.
Yeah.
And
And
so
the practitioners know that that's like the place to interface
Yeah.
with potential clients.
And it's
Are they vetted? They're vetted through Psychology Today?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it says all their
Their
credentials.
credentials, yeah,
I
out
mean, you can
there.
read their credentials.
Okay.
You can go to their sites. And a lot of them will say whether they're available or not or taking new
Oh.
patients.
It's like mental health LinkedIn.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And so I had sent to 3 or 4 like on that Friday evening. I hadn't heard any back from anybody by Tuesday. So then I just started looking other places. A friend of mine had posted something on Facebook just on my behalf, like, hey, does anybody know of anybody accepting
Yeah.
new patients for kids? And so I had reached out to probably like 6 more. And then I had started hearing back from the people I sent on Friday. And so there were about 3 that had gotten back to me with openings.
Okay.
And the first one who responded, I'm like, yes, we will go see you.
Yeah,
Because-
beggars can't be choosers at that point.
Well, and you think about
So-
how many limited resources there are for adult mental health, right, in this country and in our society. And then you add in the child aspect even more because they have to be even more like certified down for
Yeah,
child.
It's more
Mhm.
med school for the psychiatrists and stuff. It's
Right.
more
It's
training.
so little amount of services and availability. And we live in a very affluent, like medical area.
Durham is the city of medicine.
Right.
I can't believe
why
there's not more available here.
Right.
Right.
Because in Wake Forest, I found when I finally got responses, I heard from 3. And the fact that there's not
That's
any in this
wild.
area.
No.
Yeah,
That-
you think with
that's-
UNC Med School and Duke Med School.
Well, it's not
and
that there
people
isn't
saying-
any. Let me be clear. It's that they are full.
And
That's true. There's
yeah.
been so much population growth in the
Right.
last decade here. Like you can't get in anywhere.
And when you think about it, I think I talked about this during the school episode, is that Chapel Hill, Orange County has one of the highest rates of suicide in high school
Mm-hmm.
in the country because of the amount of pressure
Oh.
that
That's
those
true.
school systems have. So like while there is availability, there's limited placement because there's so much need and desire for this. And we're highly educated in this area, right? I'd say there's a higher
Yeah.
education population. So people are more inclined to say like, hey, let's talk to therapists, let's do these things, let's get involved.
Yeah. And I do think the stigma around this topic is getting better. I do think that
Very.
parents are more open to pursuing it and more willing to do this, for their kids and with their kids now than ever, at least, in my personal experience. So, right, it's telling, right,
Yeah.
that there are the professionals and they are all booked, right? But it's
Millennials and their children.
Because we are suffering.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I am a firm believer that everyone should be in counseling all the time.
Y'all made me go. Y'all encouraged me because I was like, I don't need therapy. I'm fine.
But are you?
You are wonderful, but everyone can
Hey,
benefit
it's
from
like
it.
going to the eye doctor once a year and going to the gynecologist once a year. Like this is another part of your brain, your body to take care of.
So this is a website, sorry,
Yeah.
for parents dealing with children with mental health issues. It's a
Mm.
support system for parents.
And this is oplm.com. So other parents like me is a great resource. And I'll link it on our social medias here
Yeah.
on these posts.
Yeah, check that out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of mine that had posted on my behalf, she has a lot of friends that have children that are dealing with the same issues or just mental therapists themselves.
Yeah.
And her friend had sent that to her. So I thought it was a great resource.
That's
for other
amazing
parents.
because I remember when I was going through the thick of it, right, with Ryan, I would reach out to like the parenting group that I was a part of, right? Just our local parenting group. And the feedback I would get is, well, if you just like start a timer 5 minutes earlier, then
My
the
God,
transition
I
will
want
be
to
better.
gouge
And I'm
my
like,
eyes out seeing those kinds of things.
they
Understand?
No.
don't understand.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
Like, mm-mm.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So we would love to hear our listeners' stories about the struggles you guys have gone through with your kids or even yourself.
And or other resources.
Yeah, or any
right?
resources you've had in your area or other places you guys can help us find to connect this sort of community together, because we need to talk about it more. And there's more of us. Like, right, we're talking about out of 4 of us, 3 of our kids have mental health diagnoses and medication needs, right? So it's not as isolated as you think, right? There are more people out there.
And just talking about it and not being scared to talk about it. I mean,
or being scared and talking about it anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, I
like
love
that.
talking about it, but if it helps one other parent help their children, it's worth it. I mean,
Totally.
And it's going to help you, right? It's going to help all of us to be able to voice these things that we are wrestling with and struggling with. And then you never know what sort of supports you might gain from those conversations too. So, for sure. Well, thank you for being a part of our pack.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on a future episode. If you want to stay connected, share your thoughts with us, find us on social media at ShePack Unleashed, and we're going to link as many resources as we can find on these posts for you guys to use.
This is Ashley, Tania, Nichole, and our amazing guest, Lena. Thank you for being part of our pack today. You are an honorary pack member forever.
Thank you. Yay.
Stay wild and fierce. All right, camera's recording. That's recording.
Half bottle of wine pour.
I need it. Okay, we're gonna do a 1, 2, 3 clap into your mic together. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Noise.
Can I tell you? I put in the bloopers. I was like, such a good clap, and you're like, really?
No, all of us said, really? I was the only one who's like, that's a great clap. And all of us were like, do it again. Immediately do it again.
Just so you know, I put that in the blooper.
I love it.
Like, glad it's in the bloopers.
Oh, they're going to get all the feet. Oh, no, it's cut out. Okay, good.
Yeah,
You got to pay extra for that.
Well, mine are not cut out, but it's
ShePack OnlyFans.
She feet. Let's do it.
okay. Tania,
Don't tempt me
are
with a good
you-
time.
I think you're doing the title.
On this week's episode. Okay.
Can you read that?
No, I cannot.
Command plus.
I am 40 years old.
Oh, thank God. I've been trying to do the fucking bunny foo-foo and I can't get it
The
to
bunny-
work. Jenny says you like
The slide.
no to like zoom in. You like or
Oh, yeah.
After-
Like a pinch pull.
And I are not the Apple users.
not a Mac.
Ashley and Jenny are the Apple users. So we are a pack divided.
I am not an Apple user.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm gonna need you to bring your mic just slightly closer. Like you're gonna feel like you're eating it. Okay.
How's it sound?
Hey.
Is that better?
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Much
Okay.
better.
Um,
We can raise that up as well if that would be better.
I'm fine. If that's
Yeah.
sounds okay.
Yeah. Sounds
yeah.
good.
I think so.
All right. So we'll do on this week's episode 5-second pause, right? Because we need music in the middle.
No. You
Can-
say on this week's episode.
That's what I just said.
The thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
the
this
whole
week's
thing.
episode, I'll say the thing.
And then wait, because
Pause.
last time you went on this week's episode, so, and then I was like,
Okay.
oh, I literally can't split it. I literally can't
Can we,
split
like,
it.
before we get into the conversation, throw some kind of disclaimer out there that, like, we are not doctors.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
not
yeah.
medical advice.
Yes.
He's our disclaimer
Just-
person.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
get permission
Good
from my
call.
child
Phone
to
sex voice.
use his name if we need?
This is not medical advice.
My cheesy phlegm
On
voice.
this episode, where's Jenny when you need her? She's like the Delilah voice.
On this
Mm.
week's episode. Okay. So, disclaimer is we are not medical professionals. This is not intended to be taken as professional advice. Please talk to your own doctors and health providers
This
if
is
you
our
have
own
any concerns.
experiences.
This is based on our experiences. Okay. I can do that. And then I can introduce you,
Mm-hmm.
how we met. And then if you can jump in and just let the viewers know kind of who you are, where you live, not where you live, but like generally speaking, your family,
Okay.
how old your kids are, that kind of thing.
I'm not using the kids' names.
That's okay.
That's cool.
I've gotten their permission to talk about their our story.
Do you have like an alias or something to refer to them to keep it straight?
Thing 1 and thing 2.
Okay, that works.
No. I mean, my oldest and my youngest.
Okay.
Probably what I'll reference it as. Just because.
That'll be easy.
No, that's great. We'll match that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that'll be easy to remember too.
Okay.
That's a good thought.
And if I slip, call me on it. We'll brrrt and go back and we'll
Cut
do
it
the
out,
sentence
yeah.
over again.
Okay. So, Gary,
Because we could bleep, but we'll try to avoid that.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, chances are they're never going to hear this episode.
No, but
when I talk to them
understand.
about this, because it's a very personal thing with them, and I wanted to make sure I had their blessing before I told.
I
because
think
it's mainly their
very
story.
important to be mindful of the digital footprint
Mhm.
that will exist, right? Like anything that goes on the internet is basically forever, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, we definitely want to be respectful of that for sure.
Yeah, I'll
I think
just say
maybe
oldest,
even
youngest.
saying that you got your children's blessing
Yeah.
to talk about this, I think would be
Okay.
totally warranted. Whoa.
Oh, the buzz.
I hear a buzz too. We're going to lose Nichole before the night's over. Oh.
I told my pediatrician that I was doing because I love my pediatrician. He's amazing. But I've said I've wanted to tell our story and just get it out there, trying to remove the stigma of medication and children. And he's been a huge advocate to support that. And because I was like, do I write a blog? Do I do something? Not that.
I can't hear her in the...
Hello?
I can't hear her at all.
No.
I can't hear myself either.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
What did you do?
Well, turning the headphone volume down doesn't turn off the feedback.
A, B, C. There we go.
Oh,
I'm back.
okay, now.
That's better. I
Okay.
can't hear myself.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
Mhm.
starting to now. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hear myself yet. No? No? Which knob is mine?
I don't know if I'm hearing you on the headset or
No.
just because you're next to me.
Next to me.
I
I
hear
think.
you
Okay.
a tiny bit,
Yeah.
actually. But I hear the buzzing.
Yeah, the buzzing's.
Buzz
Oh,
now too. Oh.
Now Lena's way loud.
yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Can you guys hear me in the headset? Okay.
Barely.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh.
Lena's super loud.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Not you. Your mic.
I know. I was just saying it for her levels.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to you.
You live in a zoo. You look like a monkey and you smell like one too.
Hey.
I smell real bad today.
Go ahead. Oh, there we go. I can hear myself now.
Oh.
Yep, that's better.
Mhm.
I do
I
hear
do.
the buzz. Yeah. Isn't it always there to some extent? And we just, I don't know. Why are we noticing it? Is it always there?
Do you want me to test your mic, Nichole?
Try now. It's still buzzing.
How about your mic, Nichole? That's this one.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear
If
that
you
okay.
turn this one down, do you still hear the buzzing?
That's better. That went back up.
It's way more noticeable this time.
That's
The buzzing is more noticeable than...
Yeah. I don't, what was that? That was echoey for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, now the headset's quiet.
This?
that's better. It got quieter.
Yeah. I don't know if the
I don't know if it's your mic. When you moved
My
it,
mic?
when your mic moved, it's.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know.
Oh, that
How
fixed
about
it.
this?
Yeah, that's better.
I don't hear it now,
Any
but
better?
I don't hear you at
Tiny
all.
bit.
I hear a
You
lot
don't hear
less.
me at all?
Oh yeah, I don't hear you either.
I'm here.
It's very quiet.
The buzzing has gotten better.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
buzzing's
your
better.
voice is quiet in my headset, and so is mine.
Okay. Oh, that's real loud. For me. In my
Okay.
in
In
my
your
headset, it's
headset?
really loud.
Is it? Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's better headset volume.
Is this any better? Oh, it's real loud in my headset. But how about, can you hear me in the...
Yeah.
Is it a good level
Yeah, and the mic.
voice-wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, much better.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Oh my God. All right. Can you hear this?
More mic.
More mic?
Need more mic.
Testing. Sibilance. You guys have never heard that? Oh,
No.
okay.
No,
Never mind.
Do we need to do red leather, yellow leather?
Red
Your-
leather, yellow
That's
leather.
better.
Red
There we
leather,
go.
yellow leather.
Oh, I went to the high school
Is
play.
this good?
Of
Well,
Charlotte's
that's real
Web.
loud.
That was loud, but it was
That was really
better.
loud. I think that's too hot on your mic because I'm hearing it in my headset.
Too much in your headset.
Super loud.
Yeah.
And it's not even my mic. I'm on your mic
Nicole's mic
with
is
my
a
own
little-
headset.
Yep.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's good.
You can hear me fine.
Yeah. Ooh, Is mine too hot? I can back up though.
Okay, is that good? Yep.
Yes.
Is my
All good.
voice good? Is it just really loud in my headset, or is my voice really loud?
Your voice is a little loud.
Okay. Yes, please. Just my own. Yes.
Cool.
There's less buzzing.
Yes.
Gonna kill me, guys. The birds are getting to me, so the buzzing and the birds and the whole thing, and I can't.
Like your own Alfred
I
Hitchcock
literally am having
movie unfolding.
Froggle bus.
You
Okay.
Do
I don't know if I
we
can.
need to clap
Can you
again?
hear myself? No, it's fine.
sure? That was real long. Let's do it. It'll make your life easier.
I'll still listen through it. 1, 2, 3.
That was better than the first clap.
No, good to know. Also, the new Adobe software, I can like auto sync the levels of us.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
So-
fancy.
Yeah, that's
Mostly
good.
for Jenny. I feel like her voice is always so low.
Yeah,
is quieter.
She is quieter.
She gets
yeah.
very reserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're ready.
Okay.